Hi everyone, how are you all? I hope that you are doing well. I know I wasn't on last week. We'll get into that. We're gonna do another get ready with me today because that is just like where my headspace is at. It's the content I have been enjoying watching and I'm just like feeling chatty. So we're gonna chat and get ready with me. I have a couple of Merit products that I wanted to try, and then I'm gonna be using this new sunscreen which I've been using for maybe like 2 weeks now, week and a half. This was from ILIA Beauty. It's the Punier Plumscreen, which I have really been enjoying. It's quite expensive. It's a little bit tinted. You guys will see when I actually put it on my face. You think you're gonna get a white cast from it, but it blends in so well. And it's super moisturizing, so I don't have anything on underneath it. And basically, I know it doesn't look like it right now, but it basically will just disappear on my skin. And then I will have good sun protection for today. You can see it's like already disappeared. Usually I would take some down my neck. I will do that later. And then on like really sunny days, if I know I'm gonna be outside without like a hat or anything, I'll actually go in and put on a second layer and it builds really well. But you can see it feels like nothing is on my skin. It doesn't get super like greasy as the day goes on, which I find with other sunscreens. So been super happy with this. Like I said, you don't need a moisturizer, or I don't need a moisturizer underneath it. Hefty price tag, but if you are interested, I can see the appeal of this product because it's really nice and the packaging is very cute. Okay, we got sunscreen on. I'm gonna tuck my very long bangs behind my ears, and I'm gonna grab the Jones Road Beauty What the Foundation. I've been using this a lot. I'm just going for like a glowy natural look today because I want to use some like bronzer and just feel light and summery, which brings me to why I didn't post last week. And honestly, I was thinking about not posting this week, but I just was like, I'm gonna turn on the camera, I'm gonna see how I feel, and we'll go from there. You need a very small amount of this, by the way. It's even probably too much, but I'm just gonna put some on the back of my hand. I just feel like, I don't know if I have the case of like the June gloom bug or what's going on, but I just have felt like super down about the state of the world, everything going on, and I just like needed to take a second last week. I feel like there's just been like so much sadness and uncertainty, and yeah, I don't know, it just like really got to me last week. I'm not really sure like what was the straw that broke the camel's back. Just like was having a week last week. I think it was also things have been super busy at work and there's been a lot going on personally, and so I think everything just like compiled and I just felt so overwhelmed, and the idea of adding anything else on top of what I was already thinking about and dealing with just didn't feel good. And I didn't want to force myself to sit down and film. So instead of doing that, I decided to take a little break, which was necessary, and like maybe necessary again in the future. I don't know. I'd love to know like what you guys do when you're just feeling like really overwhelmed by the state of things. When like your existential crisis hits really hard, how do you cope? What are some good tools? I know for a lot of people it's just like getting outside, being in nature, exercising, getting those endorphins going. What I did was just like laid in bed and rested. I just felt like really exhausted, which I feel like I'm someone who does need a good recharge every once in a while, but I will admit I have not felt that way in a long time, and I like kind of surprised myself that I like got into that headspace. So yeah, so reminder for everyone to take care of yourself. Do what you need to do, and I know that I'm not alone in having days or moments like that. So if you guys have any advice for other people, like I said, if you have any things that really like help to lift your mood, leave them in the comments because it would be a great resource for someone to go to if they are feeling that way currently. I'm going to add a little bit of the Glossier Stretch Concealer just in darker areas, since the Jones Road Beauty foundation is more like the BB cream of foundation. Remember when like BB creams and CC creams and like BC creams and all of those were super popular? I feel like it's like that, where it's just gonna give your skin like a little bit of evening, but not doing anything drastic. If you do need coverage, then you need to go over the top of it and kind of add that back in. How have you guys been feeling about all of the celebrity skincare launches this summer? I feel like we're already off to a really hot start with Kim Kardashian releasing a skincare line. Hailey Bieber just released her skincare line. My Instagram feed is just like full of promo for both of those, which is probably my own fault for clicking on them and then the algorithm serving me even more of it. But I feel like it's wild how many celebrities have a skincare line, and I will be honest in saying I don't know enough about them to like actually have a real solid opinion on it. But I do always think it's interesting when celebrities come out with a line and like who they partner with to create the line and kind of what the ethos is behind it. Yes, I've been seeing a lot of promo for skincare. I'm in this moment right now where I'm like really trying to pare down everything that I have. So I'm like tempted to try all of this new stuff, but I'm trying to stay out of that mindset and just like stick with what I have, try and really finish it and see how it goes from there. First Merit beauty product that I'm going to try, which I mentioned in the last video that I made, is this brow product. This is their Brow 1980 and I have it in the shade brown. Oh, my hands are kind of slippery from all the creamy foundation products. Okay, that's opposite of what I thought. Larger piece is the brush, the smaller piece is the actual product. Let's see, this looks a bit warm, but I'm just gonna apply it. It's not clumpy, which is great. It's a drier formula, which can actually be really nice. I like plucked my brows for the first time in I don't even know how long time. And now I have some sparse areas where like I really just don't grow a lot of brow hair. Hoping that this can help kind of beef them up a little. Definitely a warmer color. I think the trick is just going to be not building up too much product. So far they look okay though. It's just like on this tail that I'm noticing a little bit of the warmth coming through, and I definitely have more like a cool tone brown eyebrows. They're not as dark as they look on camera. Every time I edit or I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder, my hair and eyebrows look so dark, and I promise you in real life they're not this dark. It's just contrast with my very, very pale skin. But if you ever saw me in person, for those who have seen me in person, I actually have like lighter brown hair. Okay, I'm gonna curl my eyelashes. I have been super into just curling my eyelashes again. I know it was like a week where I was like, I love mascara. I'm so happy to have mascara back in my life. And then it just became such a nuisance and I was like, I don't want to put on mascara. So I'm back into just curling my eyelashes. I don't know, I think it just gives like a really fresh, like unmade up effect. So anyway, I'm just like taking it slow in terms of content, how much I am on social media, because I do notice like the more time I spend on social media, the deeper into a hole I feel like I get in terms of like wasting time. And then also especially with like Instagram, the absolute impulse to compare yourself to other like people, creators, all of that feels so strong to me. It's like why I try and make an effort to mostly have a homepage filled with like brands, because then I just kind of keep up with the news and what's going on. It's not as much of a space to like compare myself to other people. As someone who is creating content, where I really compare myself is like the quantity that I'm putting out. I always feel like very self-conscious of that because like I don't put out a lot of stuff. Sometimes I feel inspired to, and that's great, and then other times I just don't. So I have to like take a step back and remind myself that like the amount of work I'm doing is okay. It's good to rest. Like I don't need to be working like 2 full-time jobs. That's just not a reality for me right now. Yeah, just trying to find some balance. I'm gonna be using the Merit Beauty Terracotta Cheek Color. This is gonna help our bronzy look. I'm gonna start by using it on my eyes. It's so fresh right now. It has never been touched. It looks so beautiful. I know that you can apply this right onto your skin, but I feel nervous about that because it's a little bit orange. So I'm just gonna apply this to my lid. Merit's whole thing is like very minimalist beauty, which is my bread and butter. I've had so many wedding, bridal shower events for people in my life like all over social media right now, I'm seeing so many different brands coming out with like, this is our wedding look, this is what we would do as a wedding guest, as like the mother of the bride. So I think it's just like wedding mania right now. If you guys want to see kind of what I've been wearing as a guest to this stuff, I can definitely film the next time I'm getting ready. So with a really warm color like this, if I'm gonna apply a little bit, I feel like I need it on a lot of areas of my face, or else I look so pale in comparison and so cool in comparison to the areas where I put this color. So I'm gonna actually use a brush for that, since I'm gonna be pretty heavy-handed, and I'm just gonna go and grab lots of product. This is kind of like a loose stippling brush, and I'm just gonna kind of like push it into the brush on the back of my hand and then really like bronze up my whole face instead of just onto my cheeks. I also had a little bit of foundation on the back of my hand, so when I first went in I went like brush to this, but I put some on the back of my hand and then kind of mixed the leftover foundation with it, just to make sure that the warmth looks very natural. And I think it does. Definitely gave my face a nice warmth to it, but it's not overwhelming. As someone who's really pale, I have to be careful with bronzers, so I can start looking orange quickly. It just looks like really different than my skin tone, but I think applying this with a brush was helpful because I can be a little bit more generous with it, but it's still super diffused. So now that I have like a nice healthy glow, I think I am going to put a little bit of blush. I'm going to do some of this Minori Orchid blush. Popping that on to the apples of my cheeks, hoping to disguise this little blemish a little bit. Then I'm going to take the brush, stipple that in. I do love using my fingers, but sometimes a brush just does the trick and makes for very fast work. Taking what's left over on my chin and nose, and then up onto my temple area. Definitely want some highlight, so I'm going to use the Glossier Quartz highlighter. I'm going to apply that to the high points of my cheek and kind of blend that up. Very glowy. Alright, maybe a little pop of something more on my eyes. So I'm going to use the Jones Road Beauty Best Eyeshadow in the shade Copper, which is, like we discovered, a little bit more gold. I'm just going to put that using my finger just in the center of my lid, just for something a little extra. I also love like a little light reflection like right at the base of your lashes. I think it makes your eyes just pop a little bit more. Rubbing all of the excess product off of my hands because I will never learn to have a cloth next to me when I'm filming. And then going with the color I've been wearing to like every single event this summer, and that is Bouche Rouge Nude Pink. Love just applying a little of it and then pressing it in. It's definitely a My Lips But Better shade on me. And we are gonna do freckles. So coloring in what I already have. You can also like take a little Q-tip if you don't want to apply more product and just wipe away any foundation or concealer that might have gone over top of it that kind of mutes the color. Let me get a mirror so I can actually see what I'm doing. And let's add some freckles. There's one side, and I'm just gonna kind of tap over them. And I am tapping at like varying pressures so that they end up being slightly different colors. And take a small brush with a little bit of powder just to do the areas that I really don't want to be shiny, which is like around here. Just pressing that in. But I do want this to be a pretty glowy look, so yeah, I think that's looking better. All right, are we shocked? We got another no makeup look. No surprise there, but I hope you all enjoyed getting ready with me. Appreciate the patience with an inconsistency in terms of weekly uploads. As always, I hope you are all doing really well. I'm wishing you a wonderful rest of your day or night or whenever you are watching this. All of the products that I used will be listed down below. Yeah, curious to hear again, what do you do to kind of like get out of a funky headspace? I'll definitely take some tips below, so let me know, and I will talk to you all very soon. Thanks again for watching. Bye!